welcome to another edition of Tech Talks with nasscom Insights. I'm Neha Jain, Senior Analyst, nasscom Insights, and I will be your host for today. In today's episode, we'll talk about patent filing in India. We'll focus our conversation on key hits and misses that we have seen in the Indian patent filing process and what can we do to make it better. On behalf of nasscom Insights, I would like to welcome Sumitha Vibhu, Legal Advisor, IPM Cell, IC&SR, Manikandan N, Lead Technologist R&D at Maxbyte Technologies, and Sheetal Chopra, India Lead IPR Policy at Ericsson. Sumitha is a legal advisor to the IPM Cell of IC&SR, IIT Madras, and an advocate practicing in the area of intellectual property rights since 1999. She's a registered patent and trademark attorney. Sumitha handles drafting of specifications, applications, prosecuting the same till grant, both Indian and international, filing appeals before the Intellectual Property Appellate Board, and handling infringement matters before the district and high courts. Welcome, Sumitha.
Thank you.
Next on our panel is N. Manikandan. He's the lead technologist and R&D at Maxbyte Technologies Private Limited, with over 11 years of experience across designing for additive manufacturing, vehicle crash performance planning, IPR management, technical research, project management, and technical training. Welcome, Manikandan.
Thank you.
The next panelist for our session is Dr. Sheetal. She's an industry professional with over 2 decades of experience in public policy and government affairs. She's currently serving as the Director IPR Policy Ericsson India. She's a registered Indian patent agent and an author of the book on patent agent examination published by Notion Press. Dr. Chopra is a resource person, Kapla, Ministry of Education, Government of India. Dr. Chopra is also a visiting faculty and trainer at various educational institutions and government forums. She has been instrumental in developing IP ebook for students that are suitable across disciplines. Welcome, Dr. Sheetal.
Thank you so much, Neha, and it's a great pleasure to be part of this expert panel, and I look forward to interacting with everyone.
Same here. Thanks everyone for joining in. So I'll probably get started with the questions that I have. So the first question that I have for all of you is, what are the key initiatives that are taken by the India Patent Office which has helped you in pushing patent filing in your organizations? So maybe I'll start with Sumitha, and then maybe Manikandan and Sheetal can follow. So over to you, Ms. Sumitha.
Yeah. I think for us, a big thrust in our arm would be this, fee reduction for educational institutions and also expedited examinations, because we are getting patents granted within a year. And I still have quite a few that I filed in 2010-ish, which are still pending for the same institution. So it's like, a lot of professors ask, we've come later, they are getting grants, what about us? We've come way earlier than them, a decade earlier, and we're still languishing. So, but we are very happy for whatever this is. Both the fee reduction and expedited examination and grant is really helping us get grants, and also leads to an active TTO office which can commercialize the grants, because everything is very relevant. Like within 2 years, if you get a grant, it's like really relevant. So I think that is something that I would really like to highlight. I think that's one thing.
Sure, thanks. Next, moving to Manikandan. Maybe Manikandan, we heard what Sumitha said from an educational institute perspective. What's your take when we talk about new companies and startups?
Yeah, sure. So I'll follow with similar points from Sumitha. So our primary goal as a startup is the need for protecting our innovation basically. And from the IP cell, IPO of India, so we have several schemes for protecting the intellectual property of startups. So basically we have SIPP, Startups Intellectual Property Protection. So this gives a great opportunity for startups to protect their IP. And also we have the cell for IPR promotion and management. That is also an initiation by the Indian Patent Office. And as Ms. Sumitha said, like we also have like reduced fees, like academic institutes. We also, as a startup, have reduced fees like rupees 4,000 for the initiating the patent process compared to large entities. And also, like as she mentioned, the expedited publication and examination has reduced the patent time. Grant of patent dramatically. So these are some of the initiatives from Indian Patent Office that are motivating startups like us to go into the patent filing. And also from the state governments, also we are getting some incentives and initiatives. So from the Tamil Nadu government, where Maxbyte is located, like we have 75% of reimbursement within 6 months of registration of a patent, and this incentive can go up to 2 lakh rupees. And also we have the NIPR, so where they give like a domestic, for filing a domestic patent, we have 1 lakh rupees of incentive for after grant, basically that is. And for filing foreign patent, we get around like 5 lakhs of incentive. So these are some of the initiatives that are motivating startups like us for filing patents and getting grants and protecting our innovation.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks. So moving to you, Sheetal, maybe you can give us the broader industry perspective to our audience today.
Yeah, sure. I think what Sumitha and what Manikandan spoke is absolutely correct. There has been a new leash of life in India, if I may say, with the incumbency of the current Controller General of Patents, Sri Unnat Panditji. We've seen a lot of initiatives now happening, whether it is through DPAM or CPAM. And lately we got to know that DPIIT has already announced 19 IPR chairs across different countries, across different universities in India. Around 14 lakh women child have been sensitized by the Indian Patent Office. So these are very good initiatives which kind of boost the confidence of industry to continue to look upon India as a key destination for protecting and enforcing their IP rights. For any organization, I must say a disclaimer that whatever I'm speaking is not just the Ericsson, but I'm echoing the voice of larger set of industry colleagues who found IP culture in India to be growing with a great progression, and we are very happy about it. I think as a next step, what could happen is the industry and academia and IPO government to shake hands and to make sure that there is better culture that continues to grow in India. If we want to see by the time we celebrate 100 years of independence, that India should emerge as an innovation hub, a lot more needs to be done. And I'm hopeful that we all will continue to shake hands on that.
Sure. Agree completely. So before I move ahead on the next question, I completely agree with the kind of initiatives that the Patent Office has taken, and the same things we have covered in our report also. But, despite all these efforts, we still see a huge gap when it comes to, comparing India to the global counterparts. So just some statistics which I would like to highlight is we still see a huge gap in terms of per capita patent filing. So if you look at resident patent application per million is nearly 20 compared to 1,717 in Japan. Similarly, resident patent application per 100 billion GDP is nearly 300 compared to over 5,000 in China. Now, if you also look at average pendency time in India, it is 3x that of Japan. So I'm sure all these numbers, when we look at all these numbers, we believe challenges that still remain in the system. So just putting some light on that, I would like to ask, what are the challenges that you have been facing at your end, and what would you recommend to various stakeholders if you really want to solve for these challenges? So maybe again, I'll start with Sumitha, and maybe, Manikandan and Sheetal can follow.
Neha, like you pointed out, we are competing in international markets, right? And we've not had too much of awareness of IP. Even today, I walk into a university auditorium full of professors, not even students. And most of them are like, they don't even know they have to file before they disclose it. I mean, for patents or designs, novelty is killed the moment you disclose it. So that is the level of awareness. And we are also now trying to bridge the gap. Our population has increased, but how many of them are really in this space to really, like, talk about IP and file? So I think that statistics is right, but I think we are also having more awareness of IP. We are doing a lot of workshops in schools, and when we do this workshop, it's like amazing what the school children come up with. So we are working on it. I think the earlier you start, the better it is. So school kids can go back and tell their parents, and that's where everything starts, right? So that is one way of looking at it, I guess. Coming to the patent office, the issues that we have there are multiple, but I'm just going to flag off the main ones which really, affect us. Basically, one is the FER, examination reports that we get. I think it's not really up to international standards. So I think that is something that we have an issue with, because what we file here and what is granted here, the same application goes to a PCT, the search reports are very different, and our claims get restricted abroad a lot more than they get restricted here. So it's not that I'm finding fault to the patent office exactly, but I think that we still need to work on our FER, kind of examination skills and grant skills. That's one thing. Regarding the infrastructure, we have a lot of issues. The system is so slow sometimes. We just are not able to file on time. And the patent office website has another big issue, which is that you have to feed in the data at every stage. Like you feed in the inventor's details and the system collapses, you have to go back and feed in everything. They don't have a save feature. So that is another issue we are facing with the Indian Patent Office. The third issue which we really have a problem with is we are not able to cut and paste any data onto the filing portal. So everything, including formulae and tables, etc., we have to redo it and upload it. And after you've done everything, if the system crashes, then you're back to square one. So that is something that we really want to work on, and I think they really need to focus on that a little more, because the filings are going up substantially. They're going to go up. And not just in numbers, but in terms of quality also. And filing from India, you do get international benefits of fee reduction, etc. So it really pays to file from India. So I think if we can, kind of bring this system up to speed, we should be doing well. That's what I think.
Sure. No, agree completely. And I think these are some of the pointers that we also highlighted in the report, especially the challenges that we have, everybody has with the website, the patent filing website. I think a lot can be done out there. Okay, moving on to Manikandan. Manikandan, your thoughts?
So similar to Sumitha, we have also as a startup faced some challenges with the search basically. So we have the prior art search. We usually do the prior art search in the INPAS, the Indian Patent Advanced Search System basically. But with the keyword search primarily need to be improved there. So basically when we go for international filing also, the keyword searches are entirely different. If we make, if we change just a word, the entire, patent the result is completely different when we, compare with the international search platforms. And also only few free search platforms are available from the European Patent Office, Indian Patent Office, and also WIPO. So we find challenging to, do a prior art search basically. So from that perspective, the Indian patent search platform should be, improved from what the current state. And also from the publication point of view, the initial publication is faster. So we have all the expedited examination, and the publication also is being expedited. But later, once we receive the FER, the process has slowed. So that is a point to improve also. And from the startup point of view, our experience is less basically. So we have less experience in patent filing as a startup initially, and manpower and resources, they are less knowledgeable in filing IPR, and we do not know the entire process. So there comes a need or a requirement to hire a law firm and or an independent agency. So that comes heavy on our pockets. So there should be some improvement or support from the patent office in that angle. And also we have filed only in India as of now. And when we go for the PCT application, so there is a huge cost involved actually. So we from the transmittal fee, filing fee, and for the search fee, we are incurring a huge cost around like 1 lakh or 1,30,000 rupees to be exact. So from that side, we are facing challenges in the Indian patent filing system. So that is from the startup point of view.
Sure. Any specific recommendations that you have, like Sumitha highlighted, that we should have more awareness campaigns, and the way they are running. Any recommendations that you might have?
So there are few recommendations from startup point of view. So as I highlighted in the challenges, so a forum with attorneys or legal agents can be formed to train or create awareness in the university, startups, and smaller firms to file patents. This is currently happening, but it can be improved further.
Absolutely.
And regarding the funding, most of the funding is at the stage after grant only. So if we get a partial funding, for example, for the PCT application prior to submission or processing the entire application, so that will be helpful for us. And as Sumitha said, like the website has to be optimized, and the payment portal is still slow, and we are facing so many issues with the payment portal, patent payment portal also. And for the FER, we need to the IPO can improve by bringing in more trained examiners to speed up the process. And from our point of view, commercialization is also a concern for us. So I think there are some other, several government agencies for commercializing our product. We have several other platforms, but at the filing stage or at the patent grant stage, if the patent office is also able to connect with us to those agencies for which we file our patents, so that can be also helpful. So that is one of the points we like to highlight. And also we have found so many things like marketplace for IP trading also. I don't think we have those kind of marketplace currently available in India. So based on our research, we have IP trading options also, that will be helpful. And we have find, apart from the main patent offices, we have regional offices and facilitation centers also. But for example, in Tamil Nadu, both are situated in Chennai only. So for people from other districts or other locations, it is kind of difficult to file in person actually. So we have the online platform that is highly helpful. But if the facilitation centers and regional offices are started in other locations or other districts also, it will be very helpful. So these are this is the list of recommendations from startup point of view.
Sure. Thanks. Moving on to you, Sheetal, your thoughts on the key challenges probably the industry is facing today, and any recommendations that you might have.
Yeah, I think I'll pick up from where Manikandan just left. On the IP commercialization, like you mentioned, that there is still a huge gap to be covered when it comes to domestic versus international filings. For anybody to be able to realize true potential of intellectual property, they should be able to monetize it. They should be able to get some hand-holding done, especially from the government side. I mean, there are small tidbits here and there, private organizations that are helping in IP commercialization. But for startup, for SMEs, or for any other private IP filer, you need somebody who is very credible and at a very cheap cost, right? So there are IP exchanges which are existing in other mature markets. It's not yet there in India. National IPR Policy 2016 does talk about it, of having IP exchange in the country. But I don't know what is stopping us to have it built. If it cannot be done solely by the government at its own cost, because Of course, it comes with a lot of legal, analysis, like Sumitha also mentioned. A lot of technology related upgradation is required. Why not industry and academia and also government join hands and have that IP commercialization or IP exchange set up? I think that is one way how Indians will be able to realize and have a skin in the game, that if they are able to commercialize, they'll understand and truly appreciate and respect the IP that even is belonging to somebody else. Having said that, at the statutory level, at the patent statute level, there are few things that are required to be relooked upon, because when Patent Act was changed, it was way back in 1970. And since then, 2023, fast forward, a lot has changed. New industry has come into place, whether it's artificial intelligence, IoT, which is Internet of Things, machine learning, which we call as ML, information communication technology. So whatever existed at that time doesn't exist anymore. So we need to relook at the patent statutes once again. Let's look at Section 3. We have Section 3D and Section 3K. Section 3D is hurting a lot when it comes to pharma side, let's say healthcare side. Section 3K is pinning a lot to the ICT sector in terms of a lot more rejections. So that the entire Section 3, which is upon the patentability, whether which subject matter is patentable or not, needs to be relooked. Second is about Section 39, which is foreign filing license. Even if there is one single Indian applicant in the patent application or an Indian inventor, one has to first file in India. But think about a cosmopolitan company that doesn't belong to India. Its head office is somewhere else. The other country is key, and that should be the first place to be filing the patent application. But non-compliance can lead someone to jail or even very harsh penalty or even invalidation of patents. We could not see decriminalization of Section 39 in Jan Vishwas bill, which just got placed recently in the budget session. I think that may have been inadvertently missed out by the committee. Similar such few more sections are there, like Section 8, which is about foreign filing status. Like Sumitha and Manikandan mentioned, they are avid patent filers. They cannot be penalized or imposed upon with a lot of compliance burden. Imagine for every patent application that these guys file or we file, we need to keep updating the patent office on the status of the same application in other parts of the country. While it can be done online, right? There is Vibhu CAS system where Indian Patent Office is already part or member of. I think Patent Office, they do understand these issues and the work is in progress. And we feel that they will take cognizance of this and remove any bottlenecks or, these administrative burdens that avid patent filers have to go through. One last but not the least, and there are few more, but I think these are the key ones, which is Form 27, Section 146, about the commercial working of the patent. So 1970 में जब ये आया था, that is the time when pharma thing was in the minds of the legislature. That drugs should not be expensive, that people should not continue to keep filing patents protected but not commercialize it. So at the behest of social cause, somebody should not get benefited. That is why Form 27 was important back then. But imagine 2023 now, it's new industry sectors that have come in. So this form has started to it is concerning that every sector has fallen within the ambit of the same. So imagine a company, and it's a completely hypothetical situation, a company that files 1,000 patent applications every year in India. So 1,000 multiplied by Form 27 each year for 20 years. Imagine the kind of paperwork and the kind of information that it is seeking. What are the information? What is the revenue accrued in India from your patent portfolio? And today, product is not an independent product. It's a composite of lot of patents, not only that belongs to you, but lot of other companies as well. How will you identify just the true value accruing from India? So it's a huge compliance burden. I think a lot of information is being asked even before somebody has filed for a compulsory license. Just a quick set of recommendation. I think as Sumitha and Manikandan already mentioned, awareness is one key thing. Setting up of IP culture through IP exchange that can help in commercialization is another. Relook at the IP statutory provisions which are age-old, archaic, and bring them to the modern form of technology upgradation. It's always a cat and chicken, what do you say, hen race, what comes first, or who catches the another, or cat and dog race. I think the technology and law has to catch up with each other all the time. So think about in that perspective and see, if we want to grow our industry, we need to relook at the existing dynamics completely with a new eye and new lens.
I completely agree.
Probably we could also identify, like, these super tech areas that really need a boost, because today's technology, if I file today, tomorrow it's old news. So it's really evolving at a massive pace. So we need to really, like, at least carve out those areas and give them a lot more, I think, not preferential treatment, but a lot more importance in terms of grant, because you have to keep up with the world pace. That's it.
Yeah. Can I just add one more point? Sure. I just was thinking when Sumitha was speaking, when she said no discrimination or not one over the other. When it comes to expedited grant, to which Manikandan also highlighted, I think it's only available for Indian startups, Indian SMEs, Indian academic education institutions, not for multinationals or for any other industry. Even if it is an Indian company, they can't get it. And if we want to be at par, equitable, fallout of everything, I think everyone deserves to have a level playing field. So why not allow this expedited grants to other companies also? Maybe there could be changes in the fee system, no doubt. Let people think whether they want to pay an additional fee or not, but have it available for everyone who is filing in India.
Sure, no, I agree. And this is something I heard from other industry members also in our report, where they are willing to pay extra, and they say that in a way it's a win-win situation for the patent office and the company also, because the pace at which technologies are evolving, I mean, if you lose time, I think the whole technology is lost. It might, even if you get a patent 5 years down the line, maybe it's not relevant. So that is the key reason why people really want faster grants. So I think it has been a very wonderful conversation, and I'm sure the audience will get a lot of insights from this. And thank you, Sheetal, thanks Sumitha, and thanks Manikandan. So with that, it is a wrap on this episode of Tech Talks, Patent Filing in India. Thanks a lot, Sumitha, Manikandan, and Sheetal for sharing such interesting insights during the discussion. Stay tuned for more insightful discussions happening in the Indian technology industry with NASScom Insights YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Till then, it's a goodbye from everyone here at NASScom Insights. And again, thanking everyone for taking their time out for this wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Neha.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neha.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.